Yo, what is up, everyone? My name is Dom, and we're here to talk about unusual options activity. Alright, disclaimer, this video is for educational purposes only. The statements made in this programming are solely the opinion of the show and are not a specific inducement to make an investment. One must perform their own due diligence and realize that all investments carry risk. There's no guarantee of profit. Okay, now, some of these trades that I'm bringing up today, we actually day traded them because I'm starting to get a little bit cautious here. We've had a huge run up, specifically in the S&P 500, even the NASDAQ, the benchmark indexes here. So I'm kind of getting a little cautious here, except on some of these stocks that are beaten down quite a bit, like Home Depot. Now, I day traded the options here, but I actually went out and I bought the stock after we bought the options because the stock traded down. And I thought we'd have a nice little bounce today. I also think that it's setting up good here for a long-term hold. The valuation is below its 5-year historical average, and the stock has pulled back quite a bit, and it's at good support levels, which we will see from looking at the chart. Now, what I want to talk about here is the call buying in these April 1st 315 strike calls. They were coming in this morning, started buying them. The volume was accumulating throughout the day, as you can see. And we were able to pick it up here because of all these contracts being traded. 4,400 about on the volume side and about 301 contracts outstanding that are open. So, like I always say, I like that volume to open interest ratio. I like to see the volume stacking up throughout the day, or just one big individual trader coming in, placing all the volume, then all these other smaller traders like me or other institutions piling on. That's when you know you get that 20-30,000 volume days with barely any open interest. Home Depot does not trade a lot of options, especially the weekly options here. Every option contract that does not expire the third week of the month. The third week of the month is the main expiry. That's where you'll find most trades occurring and the most open interest, because that's just how it is. That's just the main month. Now, like I said, we day traded these options here. It was a pretty volatile day here for Home Depot. It's pretty much up, down, up, down. We got in around one of these low points here, and we were able to ride up a little bit here and get out towards the end of the day. Now, I also went in and bought the stock as well. I'm looking at this also in investment terms. If you just take a look at the chart here, this is the big drop on earnings here. It came down. I listened to the conference call. There was really nothing horrible about the quarter. I think they slightly missed on the outlook, something like that. But, in my opinion, this is a great long-term hold here. So, obviously, unless the stock runs up, back to about 350, then I'm going to be looking to sell it. But, if this thing trades sideways, trades a little bit down for a few months or something like that, I'm not going to worry too much. I think it's a great long-term hold. As I said, I think the valuation is really attractive here. And I wish I could have gotten it around this 300 level. We were able to get in, somewhere around 310 or so. But, we're kind of eliminating a lot of our risk here, because if you take a look here, the stock bounced at 300 back last year, mid last year, bounced there again after a bad quarter. And we're pretty much there now. So I think the stock is pretty much de-risked at this point. And I'm going to be looking for a pullback in the morning. Maybe look to day trade those calls again, or just look for the next trade. But I think it's a great long-term investment either way, so I bought the stock. Okay, next one I want to talk about is Snowflake. Now, this one had another huge drop on earnings here. I listened to the conference call. I thought it was a pretty good quarter, pretty conservative outlook. That's what I thought it was. I don't think they just blatantly missed. I think it was conservative outlook. But, this stock has had a pretty big run here. It's had a pretty big run just today. But as you can see from this call buying here, they're coming in and they're buying the 270 calls. April 1st, 270 calls. This week, 270 calls. These calls are so far out of the money, about 30-40 points out of the money here. As you can see from some of this other volume here, they're coming in and they're buying the 260 strike. They're coming in buying the 250 strike. They're coming in buying the 240 strike. Everybody here gets the point. They were even buying the 230 strike, it looks like, probably earlier in the morning when the stock opened up around 220. So it was a nice run today. Once again, I was in these calls again. I think I was in the 260 calls. We made a nice little day trade, made some money. But I'm definitely going to be looking for a pullback in this one in the morning. If we do get a pullback, I think it's a good opportunity to possibly add some calls, do another day trade here. It's kind of tough to bring trades to you guys because it's just such a volatile environment that I'm doing a lot of day trading. So it's kind of a little tough to bring you guys trades, after I've exited. Kind of feel bad a little bit doing that. But that's just the nature of the beast. That's kind of what we're doing here. A lot of this is for educational purposes only. Obviously, you can jump in on these trades as well and try to make some money. But, this is definitely one that I'm going to be looking for a pullback tomorrow morning, possibly add some more calls just because I like this activity so much here. They're going out and they're buying the 270 call for a stock that's trading at 235. The calls expire in about 4 days. These people are expecting a huge move by Friday, or they're expecting a very rapid move in a very short period of time, and they're going to either day trade it or get out in a couple days. And that's something else that you have to watch out with these ones. A lot of these people that are buying these calls as well, these institutions, are also doing day trades. So you just have to be aware of that. If you're holding these calls overnight, you have to look at the open interest tomorrow and kind of see how many of these 10,000 contracts traded today transfer over to open interest, meaning how many of these people held these calls overnight. And you can get an estimate by doing that. So, not in Snowflake stock, not in the calls anymore. Going to be looking for a pullback to possibly add some more calls tomorrow, especially if there's more call buying tomorrow. That is definitely a signal to jump back in if the stock has pulled back. So thanks for everyone who's been subscribing. Like I said, it's kind of tough to bring trades. When I'm doing day trades, I kind of feel bad putting these out when I'm not in the trades anymore. But this is definitely one Snowflake that I'm going to be looking to add some calls tomorrow morning. So thanks for everyone who's been subscribing. We'll see you in the next one.